Jackson meets the dogs. Some backstory. Agent Jackson is a Styx crew member. Their job is to help people transition, and once they die, the Styx crew makes sure the person, called a switch or a kick, stays dead and doesn't come back as a zombie. Agent Jackson is on assignment at the Alderan house with Jaime, whose mother is about to transition. He gets called by the dispatch to go and check on another one of the guys in his unit named Patrick's. Agent Jackson gets a ride from Tucker and they head to Patrick's location. Once they get there, they discover the zombie situation is now the least of their worries. This voice is an AI thing and used for the dispatch and the narration. It sounds crazy. Oh well, it's AI. This is one of the scenes where the werewolves first appear. Just listening to how the conversation flows, or as best as possible with AI voices. Thanks for checking out this project. Here we go in 4, 3, 2. Agent Jackson, come in.
Sorry, Jaime, I'm gonna go for Jackson.
Jackson, you green or blue?
Blue at the moment.
Crap, do you think? Hold on. No, because if it gets up, we're going to have to get our RC out there. Okay, how long? What's your ETD?
Not sure. What's the issue?
Patrick's is in cabin 2, close. He called in. He's going to need assistance. Should be quick.
What's going on with Patrick's? He's one of the most solid guys on the team.
I don't know. You pub right now?
Yes, sir. Give me one moment.
I'm gonna go back in and
Agent Jackson waves it off and says it's okay for Jaime to stay and hear the conversation on the radio. He leans over to Jaime with his end on mute so the dispatch doesn't hear him and whispers.
Sounds like something's going on. Patrick's is one of our top guys. He never needs help. They call him in to help everyone else. I'd rather you hear this too in case I have to go, you know?
Agent Jackson unmutes and speaks into the radio to dispatch and says,
All clear. What's Patrick's status and position?
He has an outbreak. Containment got a little messy. A dog might be infected or something. Never heard of that before. He's just worried is all. I don't know. He's got them locked in the house right now. Just needs someone to back him going in to clean it. He got most of the family members out, but he lost one. He said it's urgent. It's different. We need you to get there right now.
Copy that. Location?
You're on Togo. Tango, Oscar, Golf, Oscar, 3571?
Affirmative. Togo, 3571. Alderan.
Okay, we got a car headed to you to extract and transfer you to assist. Should be there in about 60 seconds or so. Patrick's is 5 blocks out, southwest, on, looks like Cabo Verde, 3447, over.
Copy that. Cabo Verde 3447.
Alright. Oh, and Jackson. Bring something heavy. Watch your 6, bud. We'll send Angie over too. She's in the area too, but since she was still in processing, we reached out to you to see if you could get there first. When she's done, we'll see if we can get her over to you too. Doubt you'll need it. Should be quick, like I said.
Roger that. I'm on it. Heading to the transport. Jackson out.
Agent Jackson pulls out a small penknife and holds it up in front of Jaime. It looks like a professional ink pen.
Okay, so... Jaime, this is called a poke. Goes at the base of the back of the skull, right where it connects to the spine. Right there, okay?
Okay, base of the head, the skull, okay.
It's not complicated. More mental than anything. Okay, so you hold her head steady, put your hand around back, hit this button.
Agent Jackson presses a button on the bottom handle of the knife, like clicking a pen. It whines as the electricity inside charges and the blade quickly pokes out, and after a second it retracts.
It pokes into the center of all of the nerves and everything, separates everything. Sends an electric shock and a pulse out, shuts down everything in the brain and nervous system, keeps folks from coming back.
Agent Jackson hands the poke to Jaime and then starts making his way with Jaime to the front of the house to catch his ride.
If I'm not back, give this to Mel. She knows how to do it. Y'all can keep that one. I have a few more. Mel should have one, but just in case. I can't leave without knowing or making sure that you have one here with you.
Do you know what happened, Jurgat Patrick's?
Not supposed to say, but... From it sounds like, I guess Patrick's was there to assist. Whoever it was must have turned early because usually you have from 5 to 9 minuets. Sometimes even up to 12 is the longest I've heard. Before, you know, they change. So, sounds like they turned. Might have gotten someone in the process. Just as a precaution, they usually keep everyone from their loved one who transition, to make sure they're clear if anything happens, but sometimes people are just like, latching on.
Hacking and crying and all that, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to let go. We'll go in for the poke, and they try to fight us or something. Then the person comes back, then it's a situation.
Wow. Drama.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened, but we'll sort it out. But yeah, if I'm not back in time, Mel should be able to handle it. Y'all have my number in case, right?
Yeah. Well, alright bro. Be safe out there.
Will do, Jaime. You too. I'll be back though.
Agent Jackson gets into the front passenger seat of the armored car. Agent Jackson looks behind him at the two heavily armed and armored clone troopers. Tucker, the driver of the car, has on mid-level assault gear.
Hey, Jackson, right?
Yes, sir.
Tucker, good to meet. Sorry it's under these conditions.
Oh, so you're Tucker. I heard a lot about you, man.
Yeah, well, none of it was true. Or all of it was true, depending on what it was. She says that I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. Billie Jean is not my lover.
Ha 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 ha.
Anyways, strap in. They tell me I drive crazy.
RC troopers?
Yeah, they didn't tell you, huh?
Tell me what? Dispatch said it was a quick in and out, just containing for a clean.
Ha ha ha. Well, don't worry, bud, we got you covered.
Tucker signals for the two soldiers in the back to hand Agent Jackson a rifle and some magazines. Agent Jackson packs away the extra ammo and checks the rifle.
What's going on? Patrick's is one of the best.
Hey. Yeah, there's some kind of dog situation.
A dog?
I know, this seems a little excessive for some wild dogs, but hey, that's what I was told. Man, I love dogs. I don't want to shoot no dog, even ones with rabies. Viewed. Orders are orders.
The car peels off. In the distance, you can hear a faint string of gunshots going off from the same direction they're headed. Cut to Extension 3447 Cabo Verde St. Cavid, Alkebulan, night. The armored CR with Tucker, Agent Jackson, and the two troopers screeches up behind another armored car parked in front of the house. Patrick's is taking cover behind the parked car and sees them arrive. He comes over to them as they're getting out of the car.
What CHA got going on over here, Pat? Where's this puppy they called me all the way from the other side of town about?
Tucker, Patrick, and Agent Jackson all take position behind the car that Jackson and Tucker arrived in. The troopers move to position by the front entrance of the house. Tucker gives them the signal to hold their position. Inside the house are flickers of light for more rapid gunfire and the sounds of a struggle with things being broken.
Okay, so this is new. I've never seen anything this before. So the switch is flatlining. I got the poke ready. Smooth and clean, right?
Right?
So the daughter is there. She's emotional. I figure the switch is about 5 minuets, right? So I give her some time, but still take position to let her know to get out of the way, right?
Okay.
Like the line goes flat. I hit the clock. Look.
Patrick shows them his stopwatch, which has 53 seconds on it.
I hit this late after the switch.
What? She turned in 53 seconds?
Less than.
How?
I don't know. But not only was the time way off, but it was a violent turn. I mean, like she exploded up, tore through the daughter as the nurse was tightening the straps. So the daughter is bleeding out.
Where's the...
Sir, you're going to want to hear this.
Where's the family?
I got them out into a neighbor's house, right over there. But listen. Okay, so the daughter that got bit, she drops to the ground. I apply the poke and the switch goes down. Mission complete there. As the nurse is trying to stop the bleeding from the daughter, she darts.
And what's the dog thing?
Before Tucker can finish his word, one of the clone super troopers inside the house is thrown and comes flying out of the side window. There is more rapid fire inside, and in the window, lit by the flashes from the gunfire, they all see a werewolf sink its fingernails / claws into the head of the trooper, still opening fire on it. It squeezes, and the trooper's head explodes like a grape. The wolf turns and glares at the trooper it threw out of the window. It quickly moves for the window, and then jumping through the trooper on the ground opens fire. The other two troops by the front door move around to the side of the house. The troopers, Patrick's, Tucker, and Agent Jackson all open fire on the massive beast. The wolf, determined, is fighting its way through the hail of gunfire, moving slowly towards the trooper who is on the ground, crawling backwards slowly. Two troopers take position behind the grounded trooper and keep shooting the wolf in the face, pushing its face back, but its body is still trying to reach them.
Screw this. I'm getting cut.
Who?
Tucker runs back to the car and tosses the AR rifle in the back seat. He goes into the trunk and opens a large gun case marked Cowboy and pulls out a large 50 cal rifle. He closes the trunk and sets Cowboy up on the back of the trunk of the car. He chambers it and starts popping off shots. The camera in slow motion, panning along the side of Cowboy from the casing ejection port down the barrel, following the bullets from the third shot as it explodes in a burst of fire and smoke and twists out the end of the barrel, and then the camera moves into position directly behind the bullet to follow its path, and the motion speeds up. The first two hit the wolf right in the face, peeling back layers of skin down to the bone, and the wolf screams. The troops in front of the wolf are still firing on it too, as well as Patrick's and Agent Jackson. The wolf is still fighting the bullet streams to get to the troopers as the wolf's body is being ripped up in slow motion from two directions while Tucker is laying down headshots. The third bullet being tracked goes in and half the skull pops and the wolf falls to the ground. The troopers close in on it without letting up, focusing their fire on the wolf's head until it is erased from the gunfire.
What was that?
I think that was the nurse.
What?
Pat, that is without a doubt the ugliest nurse I've ever seen in all my life. You fellas okay over there?
Yeah, well, she didn't start off looking like that. Don't get me wrong, she wasn't winning any trophies, but...
A dog, though? That's not a dog.
Hey, Tuck, where'd you get that? I'm thinking you should have started with that.
Cowboy Kurt here. Oh, we go way back. He's an old friend. Patrick's, if you don't mind me asking again, just what, exactly, are we dealing with here?
Listen to me. The daughter was bleeding out. The nurse was trying to help her. I applied the poke on the switch. Switch goes down. Daughter goes down around the same time. I move around to apply the poke to the daughter, but she heats up. She just starts getting hot body temperature. Like her whole body was hot like a switch turned on.
Did you get any of this on you?
No, sir.
No cuts, abrasions, bites, nothing like that. No fluid swap, making out with it or anything? I heard how you hippie surfer skater boys are all into that weird stuff.
No, sir. All clean. So the daughter, she jumps up. The nurse can't hold her. She jumps up and falls over on the bed, kicking and screaming, rolls over the switch and onto the floor on the other side of the bed. Looks like she's switching too. So I'm getting ready for that. It's all happening faster than it's supposed to. Neither of us knows what's really what. So I tell the nurse to get the family out of the house. It was just another woman, Switch's other daughter, the daughter's sister, and her kid. They're over there at 3444. Nurse takes them. I lock myself in with the daughter, stash the poke, get my sidearm ready. Right when I start to make my way over to her, one of those gets up, and it gets up pissed.
So, hold on, so the switch bites the daughter, and the daughter, instead of going switch, She
turned into that. One of those. I open fire. I say it wasn't the daughter, because I was dumping headshots, hitting that thing right in the face. It wasn't going down. That thing lunges at me and tackles me through the door. The nurse is closing the front door, letting the family out, and it goes for her. I grab it and start shooting it in the back of the head. It throws me off and jumps on her. I'm still shooting and hit my panic button to radio you guys for assistance. I tell them it's a pack of wild rabbit dogs, big ones, thinking if I say what I'm really seeing, they're going to laugh and call it off. This is at least,
Understandable.
So I'm calling in, right? And the daughter, then, or what used to be that thing, is mauling the nurse. I grab a chair and smack it in the back of the head, and I'm wailing on it, man, to get its attention back on me, because mag dump after mag dump, this thing is just drinking the shots like Mardi Gras, just absorbing everything I'm throwing at it. Chair breaks. I pick up the chair legs like a stake and stab it in the back, right in the shoulder. Get my knife in my other hand, sink that in on the other side. That got its attention, and it gets up. This thing is huge. Well, you saw it. So it gets up, I'm holding onto the knife, sliding down like cutting a curtain or something right down its back, from the way of me holding on. The nurse crawls into the living room by the fireplace. That thing whips around, flings me off, and starts coming at me. I move back into the room where the switch is to get to my tools, get something heavier, So I get the pump. That thing comes through the door, I start just dumping on it, man. It's not stopping, so I'm not stopping either. Reloads like a 3-gun competition. I tore off its right arm at the forearm. The nurse came back and shaking with one of the fireplace pokers and stabs it through the chest. Like right through the heart, it looked like. Plus, it still got my knife in its back and that chair leg. That took it down to its knees. It swatted her out of the room, and I move into position above it on the bed where the switch is, and I let it have everything else I had. Right in the head. Opened the skull up. It went down. I tried to do a scan, but my system got damaged in the skirmish. I went to get to the nurse, and sure enough, she was hot, just like the daughter was. I was putting pressure on her side where her wound was to stop the bleeding, and she starts going into convulsions. I'm staying with her for a little while, but she's not cooling off, and she goes unconscious. Not dead, just unconscious. When the first 4 troops show.
4? I only saw 2.
When the first 4 troops showed up, 2 went in to check the daughter. 1 was outside watching the door to make sure there were no civilians, and 1 was helping me with the nurse, but then she started turning. I went out to get something heavier. The troop at the door told me to switch positions and cover the door. He went in and locked it. There were shots fired. You guys got here a little bit after that.
So, hopefully, we have a dead daughter wolf in there.
Yeah, because that one has both hands. No wound on its side, but I know I tore that other one's hand off and cracked that skull clean open.
Tucker taps the side of his forehead where he has two glowing buttons activating a scanner he had wired into one of his eyes. He's looking inside of the house scanning to see if anyone's alive and where they are.
So 1 dead daughter and 2 missing troops. I guess Cowboy Kurt and me ain't done quite yet. Let's re-up and then comb through there nice and slow. I don't see anything living, but just to be on the safe side, I still want my head count to make sure everything is truly as quiet as it seems, you know?
Agent Jackson and Patrick's agree. They all move back over to the car and reload. They signal the 3 troops who are left, and they come back over to the cars to reload.
What holes we got, Pat?
Front door, back door, and that window there on the side. Bathroom window and the other side windows are too small for those things. Front room, dining room, kitchen, and the guest room where the switches are in the front. Hallway after that with 2 bedrooms across from each other, and then 1 bedroom in the back. Kitchen has the other exit, comes out in the back.
Okay, when we move, Jackson, you cover the front door there. Make sure don't nothing that ain't human or a clone, or any kind of loving form of one of us goes in or comes out. To one of the clone troops. You cover the side window there, same thing. To the other 2 troops. One of you goes with Patrick's to check the rear kitchen hole, other one is on me going in the front. To Patrick's. Any other ways in or out of here, Pat?
No, sir.
No trapdoors, trap houses, bat caves, secret fetish rooms or nothing?
No, sir.
You sure now? I ain't trying to go in there and have one of our guys turn into one of those falling from the sky on me. Ain't no other INS or outs, right?
None that I saw. Unless someone's doing a Santa Claus.
Okay, from what I was told they're sending 2 men over to Angie who should be here when she's wrapped. Jackson, let them all know what's what when they get here. Hopefully we'll be back out by then. Solid?
Everyone agrees.
Let's move. Stay quiet. Well, as quiet as possible. Oh, and Jackson, please remind me when we get out to give our beloved dispatch a call and every so voraciously tear them a new one about their dog.
Will do, sir.
Let's go, gents.